What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you're here for your free picks for Saturday, November 25th. Well, guys, after only a couple of days on Friday, we have a very, very big Saturday once again. Lots of free picks, lots of games all over Europe. We have 6 or 7 games in the EPL. We have that big matchup between Manchester City and Liverpool. We have some interesting games in LaLiga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and League One as well. So stay tuned for that, guys, and get your free picks. Of course, at the end of this video, there will be a parlay of the day as well. It's a five-legger. It's not a big parlay. It's only plus 355. But I would rather have a winning parlay than the losing one. So I decided to go a little bit more cautiously. For more free picks, go up to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. Of course, check it out, subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos. For my best bets, click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page on the Pickdawgz website where you can sign up. And of course, you can use those betting tools that we have up on sportchatplace.com. You can find the soccer section and you can create your own parlays with goal scorers, profitable teams, and whatnot. You can check out some stats and get the best parlay that you can. Like I said, guys, we have a busy Saturday and we are going to kick it off with the EPL as we usually do. And it is a big one to kick it off. It is Manchester City versus Liverpool. And as we can see, Manchester City is actually a pretty heavy favorite against Liverpool. I don't think they should be as big favorites as they are, even though they haven't lost a single home game yet this season. They have been perfect, 5 wins out of 5 games. And they haven't lost to Liverpool when playing at home in their last 6 games. But Liverpool has been playing outstanding football this season once again. They are dangerous. They are creating chances. They are scoring goals, and they have scored only 5 goals less than Manchester City so far this season. As far as playing on the road goals, they're averaging about a goal and a half scored, and Manchester City at home, they have been solid defensively with only 3 conceded goals, but overall they haven't been solid defensively throughout this season, whether they play in the Champions League or the EPL. So I think we have to approach this game cautiously. Of course, there was an international break. I'm looking at the injury reports for both teams here. Stones is out, Nunez is out, Kovacic and De Bruyne, of course, for Manchester City. Ederson and Holland are listed as questionable, but I think they will probably be playing. And as far as Liverpool goes, McAllister is suspended because of the yellow cards. Andy Robertson, Bajcetic, and Thiago are out as well. Overall, I would say the quality between two teams is definitely quite similar, and once again, they are both playing pretty well this season, quite offensively. I gotta say, a lot of scoring goals between these two teams. And I think that people will definitely be right to expect goals in this game. But I decided to go a bit of a different route, and I'm going to take total shots on target in this one. Over 9.5 shots on target between these two teams combined at minus 112. I think that should hit fairly easily if you ask me. But whether we see goals or not, I don't really care about it. But I do like shots on target in this one. So Manchester City against Liverpool over 9.5 shots on target, and that's minus 112. In the next matchup, guys, we have Burnley playing against West Ham, and Burnley is on a huge losing streak. They haven't won a single home game this season. They have 6 losses out of 6 games. They are at the bottom of the table. They have only 1 win and 1 draw so far. They have scored only 9 goals, only 4 at home, conceded 18, and this is a perfect opportunity for West Ham to keep their winning streak alive. They have now won 2 games in a row, and they have to win the third one here. They simply do not have a choice. They play in Europe next week, and they have to keep the form up. So we are getting a great price on West Ham, and I'm gonna take it. It's plus 112 right now. I think this is a great opportunity for them and for us to make some money on it. So West Ham on the money line. Luton Town and Crystal Palace is another matchup in the EPL, and Luton Town also has been struggling a lot this season. They have 1 win, 3 draws, and 8 losses. They haven't scored a lot at home, only 4 goals. They have conceded 7. But they're much, much better defensively when playing at home than they are on the road. As far as Crystal Palace goes, they're pretty even whether they play at home or on the road. They don't have a lot of offense. They're averaging just 1 scored goal per game, conceding about a goal and a half, a little bit less. And I think that Luton Town potentially sees this game as as a chance to get some points. So I'm gonna go with both teams to score in this one at minus 117. If they don't score against each other, I'm not sure against who they can score. I am not necessarily expecting the over 2.5, but I could definitely see at least a goal on each side. Newcastle and Chelsea is another big matchup we have in the EPL on Saturday. And you know what? Newcastle was one of those teams that was hoping for the international break to kind of get their ducks in a row again, to regroup, to get some injured players back in the lineup. And they need to bounce back here. And they have to face PSG in the Champions League next week, which is a must-win game for them. As far as Chelsea goes, undefeated in their last three games. They got that big draw against Manchester City 4-4. And this is actually a very good offensive round for them. They have scored 10 goals in their last three games. Of course, defensively, they have been basically non existent, especially against Manchester City. And that is a good chance for Newcastle here. Now, both teams have been hit by injuries quite a lot. Newcastle is missing a ton of players. Literally, their entire starting lineup is injured or suspended, and Chelsea pretty much still has half of their team on the injury list as well. So the depth will be reduced here. The consistency and the bench quality will be a problem for both teams in this game. And for that reason, guys, I'm gonna go with both teams to score minus 150. I think that if you want to push this to over 2.5 as well, I don't think you'd be wrong. But I'm just being a little bit careful here because we had the international break last week. So Newcastle versus Chelsea, both teams to score. Nottingham Forest and Brighton is another solid matchup we have, and I feel like Nottingham Forest could snag a point here because they're still undefeated at home this season, and Brighton has been all over the place so far this season, and they will be without a bunch of key players for this game. So Enciso is out, Estupinian, Solly March, Lewis Dunk is out, Matoma is out, Dahoud is out, James Milner, Evan Ferguson. This is another team that was hoping for the international break, but I'm afraid it was not long enough for them to get those injured players back. So uh, I honestly would not blame you if you lean towards Nottingham Forest in this game, but we still have to be careful because Nottingham Forest is not a good defensive team, and even though at home they're conceding only 5 goals, which is a goal on average. Uh, not Brighton is still a very solid team that could score goals. So in this one, I'm gonna go both teams to score in over 2.5, minus 110. I'm hoping that Nottingham Forest will try to step up in this game and hopefully they can get us at least a couple of goals in this one. So uh, Nottingham Forest against Brighton, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Sheffield United and Bournemouth is another matchup in the EPL, guys, and I feel like both teams will try to go for the win here. These are the type of games that these two teams have to win if they want to stay in the league. Bournemouth has been a little bit more consistent maybe this season, but they're still without a win on the road this season. They're actually on a three-game losing streak when playing on the road. And Sheffield hasn't lost to Bournemouth in their last four home games. So I think this is a great opportunity for Sheffield to get some points and try to escape their relegation zone of the EPL. But I don't know. Neither team has a lot of offense to show for at the moment, and they both still have a lot of injuries as well. Uh, I mean, in a situations like this, we have to go with both teams to score. It's minus 152. Maybe if we combine it with Newcastle and Chelsea and get a nice plus money out of it, but I honestly don't see a clean sheet from either side in this one. That's how bad they were defensively so far this season, and those problems don't just go away all of a sudden. So, Sheffield against Bournemouth, both teams to score. And the last game of the day in the EPL is between Brentford and Arsenal. And I'm going to keep this one very, very simple. Brentford has been quite solid. They have lost their last game against Liverpool, but before that, they were on a nice positive streak. Unfortunately for them, they're missing a lot of players for this game. Uh, I, Ivan Toney is still suspended. Damsgaard is out. Kevin Schade is out. Lewis Porter is out. Eric Hickory, Nathan Collins. These are all players that would probably be in the starting lineup for Brentford. but they are now injured and they will be missing out on this game. As far as Arsenal goes, they have a lot more depth than Brentford does, and despite all the injuries they have, and they have a lot of them as well. Gabriel Jesus is out, Smith Rowe is out, Martin Odegaard is listed as questionable, Fabio Vieira is suspended, Ben White is I think also suspended or something like that. But like I said, Arsenal is the team that has more depth here, and they have been playing quite solid and consistent this season. So I'm keeping it simple, guys. I'm taking Arsenal on the money line, and I think they will get another EPL will win and focus on the Champions League next week. Now we are off to Spanish La Liga, guys, and the first game we have is between Rayo Vallecano and Barcelona. Now, Barcelona hasn't been scoring a lot of goals as of late. They have barely scored 2 goals in their last game against Alaves, while before that they got one against Real Sociedad. They couldn't score against Shakhtar in the Champions League. They scored only one against Real Madrid, and I know it might feel it might seem like this is a good game for them, but we know that Rayo Vallecano is a team that likes to fight it out. They've shown it against Real Madrid a few weeks ago when they got a nil-nil draw against Real Madrid on the road. And I honestly would expect something very, very similar here from them. Barcelona might be a little bit more focused on the Champions League. I think they need a point to qualify for the knockouts, and they are playing against Porto, which is not going to be an easy game. So I'm going to focus on yellow cards and red cards, that is, in this game. I'm going to take over 5.5 cards, minus 110. Like I said, we know that Rayo Vallecano likes to find it out, and Barcelona might get a little bit nervous if they will not be able to score a goal. So I'm going to go with over 5.5 cards at minus 110. Valencia and Celta Vigo are facing off in La Liga as well, and this is another game where I like goals, guys. I honestly am not sure why the books are giving us plus money on the over 2.5, but I will take it. It's it's a matchup between two teams that are not solid defensively, two teams that have been very inconsistent, but two teams that can definitely score goals. Valencia has conceded 18 goals so far this season. Celta Vigo has conceded 24. And you know what? I'm gonna take over 2.5. I'm gonna take the plus money. It's plus 120 right now that the books are giving us, and I will gladly count the money after. Atletico Madrid is hosting Mallorca, and you know what? Atletico Madrid has changed their playing style. They have become more offensive this season. They have been perfect at home so far with 6 wins out of 6 games. They haven't lost any of their last 19 home games. As a matter of fact, they have won 17 of their last 19 home games. That's an outstanding record. Um, their stadium is their fortress this season, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they stay in the title race until the very end. And I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they even win La Liga this season. I think that's how good they are. They have a great team. They have the depth. They are healthy right now, and they are doing well in the Champions League also. So uh, in this game, I'm gonna take Atletico Madrid at minus 1.5 at plus 118. If you're getting a good price on minus one, I would take that. But minus 1.5 seems more than likely to me, and I will take it as well. In German Bundesliga, guys, we have Union Berlin playing against Augsburg. That's the first game we have to talk about. And we know that Bayern really screwed us up on Friday. They have beaten Cole, but only 1-0. They haven't had a single shot on target in the second half. But we are focusing now on Saturday. Union Berlin hasn't won any of their last 14 games, and Augsburg actually has been on a 5 game streak without a loss. But I honestly think they are overperforming a little bit. Uh, I think this is the type of game that Union Berlin has to step it up and they have to go for the win. Sure, they have a few injured players, they have a suspended player as well, but if they want to do something in the Champions League, I think they still have a decent chance of qualifying for the Europa League, if not advance to the knockouts. Uh, I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here, and I'm gonna take Union Berlin on the money line. It's plus 102 right now. There's not a lot of money coming on Union Berlin, I guess. But like I said, I think this is a type of a game, and they're playing at home, and I think they could get a win. I think they could break their negative streak finally. So I'm gonna give it a shot with Union Berlin. Borussia Dortmund and Borussia Mönchengladbach is the next matchup in Bundesliga, guys, and I think this was gonna be all offense with very, very little defense on either side. Uh, Borussia Dortmund has been quite solid when playing at home for a while. They haven't lost a lot of games over the last few months at home, but they have been conceding quite a few goals when playing at home. 8 goals in 6 games, while Borussia Mönchengladbach has been quite solid when it comes to scoring goals, whether they play at home or on the road. Overall, like I said, there's not a lot of defense going between these two teams, and if I had to choose a side, of course, I would lean towards Borussia Dortmund, especially because Gladbach has a few injured players as well. But I'm seeing goals. However, I slice it, guys. I see goals in this one. So over 3.5 goals, minus 113. I like this pick a lot. Over 1.5 in the first half might not be bad pick as well. So choose what you want to do, but I'm gonna go with the over 3.5 total here. Freiburg and Darmstadt are facing off in Bundesliga on Saturday as well, and I think this one could be very interesting. Darmstadt has had a period so far this season where they were able to get a couple of wins together, get some points, but now they're without a win in their last 4 games. And even though they got a nil-nil draw against Mainz, I think that Freiburg is a little bit better team, and they have never lost to Darmstadt when playing at home, and they need to get back on the winning track if they want to do something in Europe next week. Sure, they have a few injured players. Their depth will be reduced for this game, and even though they're playing against Darmstadt, it's not going to be an easy game. But I think that Freiburg can snag a win here at home. So I'm going to take Freiburg to win and over 1.5 goals, which is minus 132. Werder Bremen and Leverkusen should be a very interesting game here, guys, because Leverkusen is on fire right now. They are on a 6 game winning streak. So far on the road this season, they have 4 wins and 1 draw. They are in second place with 31 points, but if they get another win here, they will be back at the top. While Werder Bremen is actually undefeated in their last 3 games, and they have been finding their way. They have been showing us some offense, some defense as well. And I think they will be a decent threat to Leverkusen here, who we know is not a defensive team. They could certainly defend, but offense is their main focus, and their main goal this season is to outscore their opponents, not to defend against them. So they're one of those teams who likes to play a game and win a game by scoring a goal more rather than conceding a goal less. So uh, in this game, I'm gonna take Werder to have over 3.5 shots on target, and that is minus 113, which is an excellent price if you ask me. And I don't think that Werder will have much problem getting over 3.5 shots on target in this game. Wolfsburg and Leipzig are facing off, and Wolfsburg is the home team here. They have started the season really, really well, but then they fell off the earth, and they have won only one of their last 6 games. Defensively, they have been a real mess. They have lost 4-0 to Gladbach before the international break on the road, and they have conceded at least a goal in 3 of their last 4 games. Uh, they really cannot keep a clean sheet. And that is a big problem. Luckily for them, neither can Leipzig at the moment. And Leipzig is missing a few players. They are struggling with the depth a little bit, and they are also playing in the Champions League next week against Manchester City. I'm not sure if they're counting on some points in that game. Are they going to try to do something? I'm sure they will, but I think first they need to take care of this game, and I don't think they can keep a clean sheet against Wolfsburg here. So my pick is both teams to score in over 2.5, minus 130. I would maybe take not minus three. I would maybe take over 3 goals on the Asian handicap as well. I know that we are risking a push, but I think it's going to be a game where we see a lot of chances and a lot of goals as well. Eintracht and Stuttgart is the last game of the day in Bundesliga, and I think this was going to be very interesting. Both teams playing really well this season, both teams scoring a lot of goals, both teams are healthy, both teams are ready to play, and we've seen both teams scoring in the last 7 games of this matchup. We have seen the over 2.5 hitting more often than not. And I think this might be one of the best games of the day in Bundesliga. So keeping it simple, guys, over 2.5 goals, minus 137. The price is great. I think this is a steal. And even if you want to add both teams to score as well, I will not blame you because it's more likely than not to hit. So Eintracht versus Stuttgart over 2.5 goals. In the Italian Serie A, guys, we have Salernitana hosting Lazio, and this is the first game of the day in Serie A, if I'm not mistaken. There's not a lot going on Saturday, only three games, and this one is at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Now, Salernitana has been garbage this season, I gotta say. They are at the bottom of the table, 5 points. They haven't won a single game at home so far this season, and I know that Lazio hasn't been the greatest team this season. They are not scoring a lot of goals. Only one goal in their last three games. Especially when playing on the road, they're struggling a lot. But this is Salernitana they are playing against. This is a team they have to win. This is a team they have to destroy, in my opinion. Salernitana has conceded 13 home goals so far this season. That's an average of just over two conceded goals. While Lazio is not scoring a lot on the road, only a goal on average. But like I said, this is a game where they have to step up. So I'm taking Lazio team total over 1.5 goals at minus 113. Atalanta and Napoli is a very big matchup on Saturday that we have. Both teams have been playing in decent form. Napoli undefeated on the road so far this season, but they have been very inconsistent with their games so far this season. There has been a lot. There has been a lot of rumors that they will be changing a coach. I think they already did actually. Walter Mazzari has been signed as a coach now. As far as I see, I haven't been really following it that closely. But who knows? Maybe this change will finally ignite that spark in them and bring us back the team we have been seeing from last season. Uh, Victor Osimhen is no longer injured. He's listed as questionable. Zielinski as well, and Lindstrom as well. As far as Atalanta goes, they are actually undefeated in their last two games. And even though they haven't won any of their last three games against Napoli, Atalanta is a very solid team. And I think this is going to be a very fun game where both teams will try to go for the win. Uh, and for that reason, I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one at minus 155. Milan and Fiorentina is the last game of the day in Serie A, and you know what? I have a feeling Fiorentina might do something here in this game. Sure, Milan hasn't lost to Fiorentina in their last three home games, but they have been stretched thin by playing in Serie A and the Champions League as well. And I believe that they are focused a little bit more on the Champions League right now. They needed a win against PSG, they got it. They now need a positive result, possibly a win against Borussia Dortmund next week. Whether they get it or not, I'm not sure. But like I said, I think they might be a little bit more focused on that one than on this one in Serie A. As far as I forgot to change the background. Sorry. As far as Fiorentina goes, they have actually been quite solid there on a two-game winning streak. They are scoring goals consistently this season, and they are healthy. They are healthier than Milan, that is. And like I said, I think that Fiorentina could be a problem here for Milan. So I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 115. I would give it a shot maybe on the double chance with Fiorentina because Milan has been so inconsistent this season. But I think that both teams to score is a bit safer pick for this game, and we are getting it at nice minus 150 price, and I will gladly take it. Now, uh, the last pick for this video before we move on to the parlay of the day, guys, is from the French League One. It is between Strasbourg and Marseille. Now, Strasbourg hasn't won any of their last six games, while Marseille they have been much better than the Strasbourg this season, but not on the road. Marseille hasn't won a single game on the road this season. They're still finding their way under the new coach, Gennaro Gattuso, and they have a few injured players and a well suspended player as well for this game. Uh, Strasbourg is not much better. They have a couple of injuries, they have a couple of suspensions as well. And I think missing those players will hit them harder than Marseille. Of course, Marseille is a bit of a favorite here, but like I said, they have been very inconsistent, especially when playing on the road. But I'm gonna bite the bullet here, guys, and I'm gonna take Marseille on the money line at minus 107. The price is simply too good to pass up on, and I know it can always happen that Strasbourg will try to step up at home and get a win. But honestly, at this price, I'm leaning towards Marseille on the road. And now we are up to the parlay of the day, guys. We have a five-legger, like I said. Newcastle, Chelsea over 1.5 goals. Atletico Madrid on the money line. Milan, Fiorentina over 1.5 goals. Marseille on the double chance against Strasbourg, and Wolfsburg versus Leipzig over 2.5 goals. This five legger pays out at plus 355. We've hit the one before the international break. Let's hope we hit this one as well, and let's keep that nice positive streak alive. So, Newcastle versus Chelsea over 1.5 goals. Atletico Madrid on the money line, Milan Fiorentina over 1.5 goals, Marseille on the double chance, and Wolfsburg versus Leipzig over 2.5 goals. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you have a great day, guys. Good luck with all of your bets on Saturday. And of course, stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.